Have you ever wondered how you can actually strike a balance between your work, family, and the things you love to do the most? Then I'm sure that this episode of The Conversation is definitely for you. On today's episode of the show, we have a medical doctor, Dr. Phil, who will be sharing with us his experience being a dad, being a doctor, and doing all the things he loves to do. My name is Renuyel, and this is The Conversation. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Renuyel.
It's an honor to have you on the show. I'm super excited to have you on the show.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, sir. So, we all know you. I know you as Dr. Phil, but I'm sure everybody would love to know your full name and a little bit about you.
Okay. My name is Dr. Phillips Arthur Udoh. I am a medical doctor and I'm currently a senior registrar in the Department of Community Medicine in Youth.
Wow.
Community medicine is not the usual standard clinical medicine, but we do a lot of work with populations like the public.
Okay.
So some other people call it public health, so we don't, deal with individuals, we deal with collections of people. And so that's the branch of medicine I chose. And I chose it because of the flexibility.
Okay.
Because you can do stuff in society, you can impact a lot of lives at once. And it's also, an avenue for mission for me. So that's what I do. Apart from that, I also am a husband to one wife.
Wow.
And we have 3 children, lovely children. And I also love God a lot. And I sing, I'm a musician.
Wow.
Write songs, drum, and then I play chess. Like I've played chess for 23 years, so
wow.
That's a whole pack.
Wow. That's quite a lot.
Yes.
So I will start from the medicine aspect, since we all know you as Dr. Philip.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would love to know, for many doctors, you'd hear them say, I was actually told from home to study medicine. There are very few doctors that would tell you, I wanted to study medicine. So was this the case for you?
Okay, so nothing of the sort for they wanted me to, because at age 4, like I'd always like to say, I told anybody and everybody around me I was going to be a doctor. I just don't know why. Okay.
Wow.
I think we had a hospital visit once and I just kind of fell in love with the hospital. Like, who does that? Fall in love with the hospital, but that is what happened to me. I love the nurses in their white garbs, and the doctors. Seriously, that was how I formed my opinion. I was like, I'm going to be a doctor.
Okay.
And interestingly, when I grew up a little and I was in secondary school, almost finishing, and I told my mom, I think I'm changing my mind. I want to do elect, and she was like, "What's elect?" How many people? How many doctors how many doctors do you have in your village? What's elect? I'm like, okay, I take it back. I'm going to be a doctor, and that was what I chased, and that's where it has brought us today.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, many of us didn't live up to that dream, because I also wanted to be a medical doctor at 5. Okay, sir. And you also made mention of chess.
Yes.
Yes. So playing chess for 23 years. Wow. That's like...
You should ask me how old are you? Like, for God's sakes. So we're doing that for 23 years. But yeah, just before you jump in, my children are already starting at 3, 5, 8. So yes, you can play chess all your life.
Wow.
But go on. Sorry.
Yeah, so I want to know, how did it all start for you?
Okay, so we were living in a tenement building that's like a compound house on Church Street in Jos. And I think I was just rounding up my secondary education then. And I came back from school one day and there was a chessboard around in the area. Like a chessboard in the area. That's crazy. Like, this is 1999. There was a chessboard in the area. Somebody had brought a chessboard from school and all of us were fascinated. It was a small board. In fact, that was my first board because I eventually bought it over.
Wow.
Yes, I owned it. And that was the first board I started practicing with.
Love.
Yes, that's how it started. So we were trying to figure out, what's the knight? What's the bishop? Why is the king like this? What's the queen? How do they move? What's the game like? That was how it started. So it was curiosity. It was inquisitiveness. It was everybody banding to find out what the game was. And I just ran. And so in 1999, there was a friend of, some people moved into Jos. And interestingly, one of my friend, the son became my friend. So he was like, wow, you guys play chess here. And then I now knew he could play chess. You won't imagine what we did. Okay, so his name is Toye. Is somewhere out now. We will go to Toye's house in the evening. I will sit down with Toye from say around 8 p.m. and we will play chess till 4
Oh
a.m.
wow.
and
Wow.
sleep and wake up and do some chores and go back to playing chess again.
Wow.
That was how it was. And he was beating me serially. Like, I didn't know anything. I was just trying to learn. He was more advanced. He has read some books and stuff. I didn't even know there were books on chess. Like, people study chess. You can write down stuff. I know somebody that did a research, his undergraduate research on chess, a mathematics student. He's currently with us now. In fact, I might have brought him to the studio. Emmanuel, he trains children. He did his first degree on chess.
Wow.
Yes, and all of that. So I didn't know Toye read stuff and all of that. So we would play and he would beat me and all of that. So I was trying to figure out, why is this guy consistently and repeatedly beating me? It was when I met other players in the university, Marcos, and some other of them there. I now realized that, wow, there are levels in this thing and all of that. And I bought books, I bought a board, I sat down, I studied chess. My mates were doing stuff. I was going deep in this thing. Chess is a universe.
Whoever thought? I mean, I'm fascinated. Whoever thought? Wow. Like okay, so we've talked about medicine, we've talked about chess.
Yes.
And I would love to know, how do you actually now strike a balance? You being a medical doctor, and I don't know how these two come together, but to me they are two different things. Yes. So how do you strike a balance?
One of the greatest chess players in Africa currently is a doctor. His name is Amin Bassem. Amin Bassem is Egyptian, medical doctor who is one of the top rated grandmasters in Africa. He plays international tournaments. He is a professional doctor. So there is no divide. Tarash, one of the chess fathers, like one of the founding fathers of chess theory, I think Tarash was Sigbek Tarash, is the name, was also a doctor. We have several medical doctors and there are several of them around who take. So I think how to see it is, chess can be anything. It can be a hobby, it can be a career, it can be a life, it can be something you do on the side. Okay. It's everything. In chess we see life. You make decisions on board. You have to think about what you do and all of that. So you can carry it all through. For me, it's a hobby, but now that's changing.
Wow.
It's changing because I now am beginning to see chess as a means to an end.
Okay.
I'm beginning to see chess as a tool for social change.
Okay.
One of our greatest inspiration for the work we are beginning to do he's called Tunde Onakoya. I think Tunde Onakoya has this current drive of chess in slums.
Okay.
Yes, Chess in Slums Africa. You can check on Facebook and on social media. Tunde is doing a great job working on slum children living under the bridge and all of that, and finding diamonds in the rough there in Lagos. And Tunde has made a lot. So he has inspired us to see that you can actually use chess to educate a whole community, a whole country. And because, it builds on both sides of the brain. We have the left side of the brain that is more for calculation and the right side for the arts and all. Chess harmonizes all of that. And so for me, it's not a problem balancing that. It's like a part of my life. While I play chess, I think about medicine. While I do medicine, I think about chess.
Wow.
And all the other things I get to do.
So much relationship. Okay, sir. So, talking about chess. So, how far have you gone in reaching out to other people that are possibly interested in chess but don't know how to go about it?
Okay.
Because you said you talked about children in slums who could actually make it in chess. Yes. So how far have you gone in doing that? Thank
you very much, Renuyel. Tomorrow we have a gig. Well, I've been calling it a gig. We have an event, and this event is happening in Kingdom Kids Club Orphanage in Jos.
Okay.
So how did this come about? In August, we ran a kiddies chess camp, summer kiddies chess camp for children.
Okay.
And we were shocked to find 56 children and more
Wow.
in that camp. Children from everywhere, from different schools, they just came together and we taught them chess. Now, part of the children that came for that camp were these children from Kingdom Kids Club. Interestingly, the CEO of Kingdom Kids, Auntie Sandra Chikan, is an avid chess lover herself and played chess as a child. So once I told her, and this something, she was like, no, I'm in with this. What's happening? And she quickly mobilized her children and sent 8 of them. And they consistently remained in camp. And interestingly, 2 of them, are even fine chess players.
Wow.
Orphan children.
Wow.
So we said to ourselves, for God's sakes, these are orphan children. These are not the privileged. These are not people who have, children who have parents in the sense of parents. And yet they have this tool and they are willing to share it. So we spoke with the management of the orphanage and said, can we host a newbies hangout on your grounds? This is to achieve 2 things. We want to bring the newcomers to chess. But we also want them to see the different side of society.
Okay.
I think currently in society, everybody's thinking of me, and we know how the economy is, wrecking everybody. So anything I can get for me is good. But I think we must move beyond that. We're moving beyond selfish consumerism, and we're moving to altruism. We're moving to humanitarianism. We're moving to touching people one lives after the other. And that is where we're starting from. So newcomers to chess will be meeting tomorrow everywhere from around Jos, but we're doing that in an orphanage that has chess kids already.
Wow.
Yes. And so we just want to break the paradigm and shift people's, mentality towards giving, and not just taking.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so as you were talking, something came to my mind, growing up and all, I used to see chess as this game that only people who bet play. I don't know if you've ever heard that. So most times people will tell you, let me use this in Hausa now, they'll tell you, Chachani. You understand? Yeah, Chachani. And all. So what would you say to parents, a lot of parents who have that ideology about chess?
I think every good thing can be used for a bad thing. The truth is, people enjoy chess in very various ways. Yes, I know that people gamble with chess. Just like they can gamble with anything. They bet Nigeria, Rave, and all of that. Not gambling now. So people do that. But chess is a very noble game. Someone told me yesterday that as we're trying to mobilize for this gig, someone told me and said, hi, now Igbo, now for people who get money. So when she said that, I laughed. I was like, no, chess is for everybody. But no, I think it's just an idea. Okay, just like you have drafts, checkers, and then people say draft is for jobless people, jobless old men who sit under the tree and just push the thing and all of that. It's a stereotype, and it's wrong. It's wrong. Chess is a very noble game, and the benefits of the game actually beats and trumps all of these other social vices that can be hooked on anything. So no, I do not see chess as gambling, and I never came to it by that. And I've never gambled, in fact they call it blooding. I've never blooded with chess. Not because people who blood are not right, but because for me the game has its own merits. The game itself has its own benefits, and we can get to talking about that. But I don't see chess in that light, and parents should not see chess in that light. The great chess players of the yesteryears and the current chess champion and all of that, these are prestigious people. They're not. It's a game for the courts, not.
This should actually change your perspective. It should, because it has actually changed mine too. I thought of chess as a lot of things, because I know it helps critical thinking. There's this movie, Critical Thinking, that I saw this time, and I actually I fell in love with chess a little bit, but I didn't see myself as somebody who would play chess. I don't like maths. I don't like to calculate. That's one. So it wasn't. I was like, let me just do you for the people who like mathematics.
You have to come tomorrow. We'll break all your whatever it is that you have on, and you see that it's very simple. Yes.
Okay, sir. So finally, we've talked about chess and everything. Lastly, I want you to tell us how you managed everything now. Being a dad, earlier from the introduction, being a dad, being a medical doctor, being a singer. In fact, you spoke about music, being a singer, being an instrumentalist, being all of these things. How do you get to strike a balance and then raise your kids as a dad? How do you do that?
Thank you very much. I think people wondered at this same thing when I was still in medical school, because I was this involved in medical school. And the whole idea in medicine was to think that a medical student should be overly and overtly and singularly focused on medicine,
Just medicine.
and nothing else. And some of us broke that paradigm because we said to ourselves, you can't live for just medicine, for God's sakes. What if you're not even supposed to practice medicine? So yes, you will give medicine its place, but you should do other things. So the paradigm for me has been grace. I think it has just been God's grace. That's a simple way to say it. This morning when I woke up, I've been going back to back on this event we're doing tomorrow. I will sleep for a few hours and then get up and I'm walking all night, all day, all night like that. My wife sent me a message and she said, have you logged in today? Now that's a code for us. What that means is, have you spent a little time this morning with God? Have you collected the day and handed it over to God? Have you received direction on how today is going to be? And for me, that is routine. The day I do not do that are my most scattered days and my most inefficient days, because everything scatters. So it is in the place of meeting with God for me that I actually get to organize a lot of these things. Now, it's not as if there are no challenges. Like, I'm facing some real challenges in some area of my life right now, but I know that the solution also still lies in the presence of God. And that is my resort. So the answer to that is, when you operate from a place where you're being guided, when you're not running your own life by your own self, you will hold together. But if you attempt running your own life, your whole life by your whole self, I think you will implode. You will fall upon your own self. That's my secret.
Yes, we always need God every day, every time. I mean, look at Dr. Phil's life. So it's been amazing having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Very, very amazing. And I will try my best to be at the show tomorrow, at the event tomorrow.
You
so
have to come.
Maybe I will finally want to, be a part of it.
You have to. Okay, so tomorrow that's the 10th of September, 2022. It's going to be the newbies to chess hangout. That's what we tagged it as. It is going to be holding at Kingdom Kids Club Orphanage. That is off Rayfield Zaramaganda Road. There's this junction, this Deeper Life junction that leads you in. There's also an alternate route, but it's fine. Once you get there, you just go straight down the road and you hit the orphanage. The number to call is 0803 681-0771, and you get responses. You'll certainly be guided there. I know that there are lots of people in Jos who want to play chess, who want to learn how to play chess, who want to have ideas about chess, but they do not know how to get about it. We are your plugs. Please come tomorrow.
There you have it, people. An amazing time with Dr. Phil. And that's what you get here on The Conversation on KR8 Radio every single second Saturday of the month when you tune in. You can do all to follow us on all our social media platforms or at KR8 Radio. Go to our YouTube channel, like it, and subscribe. My name is Renuyel, and this is The Conversation.